We will get answers to how and why this happened. They will be vital in preventing any future attack. And to our friends and fellow citizens in the Muslim community, Canadians know acts such as these committed in the name of Islam are an aberration of your faith. Continued mutual cooperation and respect will help prevent the influence of distorted ideological propaganda posing as religion. We will walk forward together, not apart. In the coming days, we will be inundated with pictures and videos showing what happened today. But there is one in particular we should all remember. The picture in our minds we have of Canadians helping and protecting Canadians. That is who we truly are, and it is who we shall continue to be.
Let's bring in the host of Power and Politics, Evan Solomon, who's been part of our live coverage here on CBC News Network through the day and now into the evening. Evan, first of all, I want to ask you about what we just heard, excerpts from, in some cases, slightly longer statements from each of the party leaders, beginning with the Prime Minister. Was there anything significant in what you heard today, anything that surprised you?
Well, we waited all day because of the unfolding situation here from the Prime Minister and from the leaders of the opposition. When we did, the Prime Minister was very somber, as you can obviously tell. All of them expressed their condolences to the families of the corporal who was gunned down so tragically at the War Memorial. And then, of course, expressed their thanks to the men and women who protected them on Parliament Hill. But the Prime Minister, what really struck me, Ian, was he said there's lots of unanswered questions, and he made the link very profoundly to the ISIS-inspired terrorists, not only to the killing that took place on Monday of a Canadian Armed Forces member, Warrant Officer Vincent, in Quebec, by someone who was on the RCMP's watch list, who had been a radicalized Canadian who wanted to go to Syria to fight, was on his way actually to Turkey when he had his passport revoked. So the Prime Minister made the link right away, not only to domestic terror, but to ISIS and to the combat mission. And then you heard Justin Trudeau there also talk about this is not Islam, but again, as we're learning of the motives of this shooting today, Ian, we're trying to establish just what exactly the suspect was motivated by, if he was a member of some radicalized group, if the RCMP knew him, and we're hearing reports that maybe they did, and we'll try to confirm more of those reports. But those links have clearly now been made.
Liberal leader talking about how we'll have lots of pictures and video coming in. The public will be seeing that, and you have some new video tonight.
I want to talk about a couple people. We have video because of the courage of some camera people. Some of them, we've spoken about Josh Wingrove, who's from the Globe and Mail, but you showed video that was taken by a cameraman here who works at CBC, Jean Brousseau, who has done extraordinary work, very brave. He just got back to our bureau here as the lockdown eases up. He took the footage that you saw at the beginning there, okay, that you just showed at the beginning of your show, Ian. He was hiding behind a pillar while those gunshots were raging, and he took that extraordinary footage that we will now be playing. But one other person that has emerged, and it's the work of another cameraman, Mike DePaul. And I want to show you this video because one of the heroes of this story is the Sergeant at Arms, a man named Kevin Vickers. Most Canadians know him as the guy that carries the mace, and in his ceremonial garb. He was in that. But when the shots rang out, he's in charge of security. When the shots rang out, Ian, he grabbed his gun from his office, which is right beside the shooting. And let me show you this footage now. This is taken by our cameraman, Mike DePaul. And this is essentially a hero in action. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, there it is. Let me just loop it. That is the Sergeant at Arms. And you can see he's got his sidearm right beside him. And if we can just roll that again so I can get a good view of this, Ian. There he is. He's walking coolly out of his office, which is nearby, carrying his firearm. And Ian, reports have said that he engaged the suspect. He was one of the people who shot the suspect, according to some reports. We're still confirming. He was very much at the forefront of this gunfight. And that shot of him right here, as you see him, 6'4", former RCMP officer. He got his firearm, reports say he reloaded, coolly strolling the halls after the shooting. So you can imagine, Ian, this is after he engaged in gunshots, and we have heard that he was one of the people that may have shot the suspect. And here he is patrolling the halls in this shot. This is the man who will emerge, whose story after the breach of security took place. This is the man who heroically stood on the front lines, who MPs, Ian said, saved their life. But he's also the man who will have to answer questions about how this security breach happened. But you are looking at a man who many regard as a hero for stopping the suspect from killing more people, and that is the Sergeant-at-Arms Kevin Vickers, and that's the footage that we've just got of him.
You know, some